Yeah. Thank you.
So lean. Everybody keeps talking about that.
I know, like my
so
face.
shredded.
What's my face changes so easily.
Yeah.
You know, like whenever I gain or lose weight, it always goes straight to my face. So.
Are you breathing right now?
No. No, my body runs. I run hot, man.
Okay.
Especially when your metabolism is going so fast, you're always running hot. So I'm good.
You guys all set? Ready?
Yep. Go. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
So TJ, might as well get this out of the way now. The weight issue. How are you doing? How's the weight?
Yeah,
We're
it's
about
always
5
the
days out.
question, right?
Yeah, of course.
But it's not an issue. It's been actually, I always knew I'd be able to make the weight, but surprisingly how good I feel, even trying to get down there. But it's because how professional I took it. The weight cut's already over. It's been 12 weeks of doing these.
Right.
Now it's just some tricks to get the last weight drop down. But the weight cut's been over. My diet's been strict. My workout routine's been strict. I'm lean. And everyone thinks I'm lying, but I'm stronger now than I was last camp, and I'm lighter. So my strength-weight ratio is through the roof. Fast, feeling great.
There are people on the internet, on social media, saying,
yeah.
"Oh my God, TJ looks horrible. He's so lean. He's got nothing on his bones."
Yeah.
What is your response to that?
Oh, I feel great. It's gonna be something to talk about, right? I mean, it's always something to bash on or something to talk about, create some sort of talk, you know. But I don't really worry about it. Yeah, of course, I'm going to be skinnier. I'm going down a little fast. If I were to wait and just crash the weight all at last time, I would look better throughout camp, right? I mean, I would look more normal, which I feel like I'd look normal, but it's been like not as lean, right? And then I would have to crash all at the end, and my performance wouldn't be as good. So I'm more worried about the performance, and I'm worried about what people are saying online.
Can you say how much you weigh right now?
Oh yeah, I woke up 135 this morning.
Okay, so that's, I mean, certainly within range. I know some people don't
Super within
yeah.
range. I usually show up like 15 over at 135. I usually show up like 150 135s now.
So you're actually closer to 125 at this point in fight week.
Yeah, I've taken it. I mean, obviously, I haven't made 125 since I was freshman in college, really senior in high school. You know, because I didn't want to. I wanted to wrestle 33s, so I haven't made 25s in a long time. So I wanted to make sure I, crossed all my T's and dot all my I's. It wasn't second guessing going on 25s. I want to be the best TJ Dillashaw possible on the 19th.
What feels the most different in camp in terms of your ability? Are you way faster, or do you feel anything's different?
Oh, I'm definitely faster. I'm training a little less weight around, but different wise is maybe how even more dedicated I had to be to camp. I've always been dedicated. I've always trained my butt off, but having to wake up and do my my long distance running in the morning, my intermittent fasting, a little bit of the calorie intake, and just Sam Calvita, my transition coach, he's a mad scientist, and just everywhere from the supplementation to the food and to the way I'm working out and the timing of it has been a little bit different.
So when you see Henry, just normally whenever you guys would see each other, how did you feel you guys compared physically? And how do you think your advantage or his advantage might shake out on Saturday?
I just have an advantage.
Yeah.
I think I have an advantage everywhere. He's a great athlete, awesome wrestler, but I don't think it's going to be enough to push him over that edge to handle my pressure and the finishing.
So his ability to be that champion. Yeah. So his body already responds to being 25.
Yeah.
So people might say he's just going to be fresh.
He's had trouble making weight. He's had trouble making 125. I bet I make weight easier than he does. But it's because of how professional I am and the way I've taken it.
And so the champ thing, I know we all call it champ now, but that's actually been an aspiration of yours for quite some time, right, to be a two-division champion. So now that you're on the verge of making that happen, possibly, how does it feel to be this close to that?
It feels real good. Yeah. And it's not just so much just to be the champ, it's just to prove that I feel like I'm the greatest confident fighter in the world. I trained very hard. I put everything in there. I'm a very well-rounded fighter, and it's about time to get to prove it. I can go down a weight, I can go up a weight, I can be at my weight class. It's just one of those things that I want to show my dominance everywhere and really take that number one spot. I want to be able to have that throne. That's why I was chasing DJ, and now I'm just chasing around. I'm worried about being the greatest of all time.
So they haven't had a conversation with you about if you win, would you defend?
There's always rumors, like stuff going on, but no, I haven't had that. The first conversation is me taking over and winning that belt.
TJ, you said you did everything scientifically, but there was a little bit of a hiccup when the card got moved a week up.
Yeah.
And because you guys do everything so by the book, did that change anything? And how did it have to accelerate the process a little bit by 7 days, or did that change anything?
Luckily, I was ahead of schedule.
Okay.
We would have made it work either way, right? We'd have maybe add a little bit more to it and put a rush on some things. But luckily, at that point in time, when I did get the phone call, I was ahead of schedule. I still had to call and check with my coach and be like, "Hey, is this something we should do?" I know you're like very like he's a calculus teacher. He's very like scientific what he does everything. And so every week we have a checklist of what I need to wake up at. You know, your truest weight is what you're waking up at in the morning. And he had a checklist for every week of what he wanted me to be at. And obviously I was hitting those, and I was ahead of schedule. So I was able to keep the calorie intake. And the only thing that maybe changed was that my calorie and my consumption that him and his daughters made for me were increased a little bit sooner to drop.
Is this something that you would want to continue to do if you were to win, if you were to beat Henry, win the belt? Would you want to defend it and kind of go back and forth, or is this just kind of a one-time thing?
I don't know. We'll see what opportunity comes. I mean, I'm not afraid of it. You know, it's been a lot easier than I even imagined it was going to be. So yeah, I don't have no problem. I mean, I can fight whatever's the biggest fight for me.
And I guess without giving away too many of Sam's secrets, what is the lifestyle change for you trying to get down to 25? What are you doing differently? What are you eating that's different than you normally would, for a 35 fight?
I've been listening to all camp, you know, everything from supplementation to my calorie intake to the type of foods, when I'm eating, you know, like intermittent fasting on certain days or not days, put my body in ketosis and taking out in ketosis, you know, spiking certain levels, like maybe I need to put more carbs in my body this week to get my insulin up, or maybe put my body into ketosis. But I've learned a lot, obviously, as you can tell when you're talking about it, but I kind of leave that all up to Sam, you know. I mean, he's the one that's the mad scientist, and I trust him, so I follow.
Most people like to spend the holidays having a good time, having some food, having some drink. What was it like for you this year, and what was it like for your family?
I had a skinny Thanksgiving, which is Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday by far. You just show up, you hang out with family, everyone drinks, eats, has a good time. There's not like presents, not a lot of pressure. So that was a bummer, you know. Christmas and New Year's not so bad. I mean, I still enjoyed everything, right? Thanksgiving was tough. You know, I love stuffing and I'll have a late Thanksgiving, early 2018.
So you started before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
When did you start the restriction and the intermittent fasting and all that stuff?
Well, I originally thought me and Cejudo were going to fight at 35s, and so, I think I was 12 weeks out when I thought we were going to fight at 35s, and then I got a call later that week, maybe the end of the week, so maybe I was 11 weeks out saying that Cejudo doesn't want to take it at 35s. I said, oh, I'm more than willing to drop to 35. That's what I wanted to do. 11 weeks out. You know, but it was actually 10 since now I got moved up.
TJ, were you thinking when you got that call that he didn't want to go up, that maybe he was avoiding the fight with you, kind of like the way TJ was?
I definitely think he's trying to avoid the fight. Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to be able to defend his belt and actually be a real champion. But once again, I'm going to come in there and show him that he's not, just like I did with Cody.
Is there a part of you that wishes you were fighting DJ instead for this?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I was chasing him down. He had that number one pound spot, so I maybe meant even just a little bit more. But Cejudo's a great athlete. He went out there and he was a great plan. I'm not sure that I can say that he won that one decisively against Demetrius, but he showed some great improvement from this good. So really it's just me being dominant over everyone in the fight. It would be exciting, but I was chasing Demetrius. Yeah.
I mean, if you're able to get a victory over an Olympian,
yes,
that's
of course.
Pretty.
Yeah, and I'm going to out-wrestle him too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were obviously coming off of 2 fights with Cody, and there was a big rivalry there. But recently, you and Henry have gone back and forth a lot, you know, in terms of building this rivalry. How would you compare the rivalry between you and Henry with Cody?
You know, it's not so much like hashing into people's personal life, and more just competition. Thinks they're better, and that's the way I like. You know, I like having that one that like. All the trash talk I do is more about you telling me I'm better than you, that I'm going to beat you right now. You know, I don't really get into personal stuff, but people like it.
You're disappointed that you're not fighting close to home in Anaheim, but now Brooklyn.
A ton, man. My whole hometown is going to come down from Angels Camp, California. But I'm still going to have a huge crowd going out to Brooklyn, which is cool. to see the support from my hometown. But yeah, it'd have been cool just to drive out my back door. I could ran to the arena, you know, to where I was gonna be fighting at. But I love New York. New York's been good to me. It's been a good fighting city. Sometimes it's almost easier to leave your home to fight. Because I fought in Sacramento when I fought Joe Soto. Obviously that fight was crazy because I was supposed to fight Barral anyways. There's just so many more obligations, and you know, family wanting to stay at your house, and friends trying to get a hold of you, and people wanting to do this and do that. When you fly somewhere, you get to the hotel, you bunk up, and that's it. If you want to come to the fight, fly out, hang out, you know. But I don't know. I kind of like traveling. I like traveling to a fight. It would have been cool to fight in Orange County down in Anaheim, but I'm excited to go to Brooklyn.
Henry's coach.
Henry, but one of the big fights coming up at bantamweight, Marlon Moraes and Rafael Assunção. Who do you see winning that one, and do you believe they're going to be the next at 135 for the title shot?
No, that's a tough fight. They're both great. That could go either way. I think it's going to be a close one. I think since I might squeeze it out again.
Henry's coach said today that if you were to miss weight on Friday, that you should put the bantamweight title on the line for the fight Saturday.
He's just praying that I miss weight. Him and his manager Ali are just like sitting there praying like, come on, Dillashaw needs to miss weight. We don't want to lose. We don't want to lose. So I mean, it's just something to talk about.
Okay, let's say something goes horribly wrong.
I'm not gonna miss weight.
Okay.
I'm not missing weight. Don't even bring it up. I'm 135 pounds this morning, and I feel great. I'm not missing weight.
Well, where's it coming from, TJ? You don't look like you have 10 pounds more.
Where's it gonna come from? I mean, that's the secret of San Calvita. Doing some water displacements and some tricks, but like I said, the weight cut's been done. My body weight, like the structure and the fat loss and that kind of stuff is done. There's nothing else, just fluid, but from now on out.
How does the missus feel about a leaner, meaner TJ?
Oh, she likes me bigger.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happier.
Yeah, right.
Everyone gets a little hangry every now and then. I'm like the Snickers commercials. You know? Hopefully there's Danny DeVito though.
How do you feel? Is there any difference now that this is going to be kicking off the ESPN era? Have you felt a difference in response or promotion or anything on how people are responding to this fight and to you?
Big time. It's really cool. I mean, I was excited that we signed with ESPN anyways, because when you think of sports, you think ESPN. You know, this makes the UFC even more legit than it already was. Right? I mean, I love the relationship with Fox, but I feel like ESPN just takes us to that next level. I felt the promotion. They came in, did like this, I think it's called the Journey now, so the countdown, and that was really cool. Those guys were very professional, did a great job. I haven't seen it yet, but from what I don't think it looks like it's gonna be awesome. During the national football game, we had commercials going on ESPN. My last two fights with Cody were on ESPN too. It's been big promotion. It's really cool to still turn on TV on ESPN and have UFC on there. It's quite exciting that I get to be the first one to kick it off.
Does going from a pay-per-view main event to a main event on ESPN Plus change your pay at all? Did you have pay-per-view points coming into the pay-per-view and now you don't?
Of course, I mean, I had pay-per-view points coming into it, but that's, I'm looking at the promotion of being behind ESPN and having ESPN back me and the long-term goal behind it. Everything will work out just great for me.
So you kind of lose money in the short term, but hopefully you gain that back in the long term. Okay. But you don't get the pay-per-view points if you're on ESPN
I'm
Plus.
not going for pay-per-view. No.
Right.
I'm going for more guaranteed money.
Okay, so you restructured your deal to get more guaranteed money for ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I don't like talking business, man. It's about me kicking people's ass, not the contract.
TJ, I heard you kind of mention that you thought about moving up even to challenge Max at featherweight. Is that maybe the ultimate goal to be the champ?
Gotta have long-term goals, man. You know, you gotta break records. Gotta be. How you gonna be the greatest of all time if you don't? You know. But right now, I'm worried on. I'm not worried. I'm focused on Henry Cejudo. One step at a time. I'm not with passing, but I do have long-term goals, and we'll talk about that when it comes to it.
Did anything change after the second fight with Cody? Did anything change with your relationship with people that you kind of got a little separated from it? Did it put the end to anything?
I definitely put an end to it.
Yeah.
I don't hear any of the drama anymore, which is nice.
Did anybody, did you have a rapprochement, shall we say? Like, are you friends again with somebody that maybe you weren't for a little while?
I say that I wasn't friends with them, but I've been in contact with guys that I haven't been in contact with before. You know, that kind of were felt like they were able to reach out to me now that we weren't fighting each other. You know? And guys that left the gym, like Justin Buckles. Right. Me and Justin Buckles were really very close when I was there. He's probably my closest friend to Aspinall for now. And even before the second fight with Cody, he started because he left and butted heads with Uriah just like everyone does. He started reaching out to me. And guys like that, Lance Palmer started coming down and training with us down in Southern California. So just, I've been in touch with some of the guys. Me and Chapman have always been close. But
In hindsight, was that rivalry good for you in a way? Like, do you feel in hindsight now that it actually did push you more? I mean, you're obviously a very motivated person, but did it have something extra for you?
Not motivation to fight, but it pushed me in the right direction of where I want to be now with where I'm living, the businesses I'm pursuing. Like, the people that are around me in the circle that I've created now wouldn't have happened if I was staying in Southern And I'm a lot happier where I'm at now and the people that are in my life and around me than I was in Southern if that makes sense. To push me competitively, no, I don't need a difference in that. I mean, I'm a straight psycho when it comes to competition, so.
Do you feel like you'd be able to make this drop to 125 if you were still in your previous place, or is the key to everything kind of being with Sam Palvita and this new setup?
I would have done it, but I wouldn't have been as confident how good I feel. I wouldn't have been wanting to sit here doing interviews right now. I'd have been crashing weight right now, you know. But with Sam, now I know that I'm going to get out there and have my best performance. You know, I have that confidence that I can go out there and I'm not going to get tired. You know, my heart rate variability is the best it's ever been. My strength to weight ratio is the best it's ever been. I'm setting PRs. You know, I see my clean and press, my last strength conditioning workout on Saturday. I'm setting PRs for strength, which is insane. It doesn't make sense, you know, but it does to Sam, so I just follow along.
I feel like he's one of the more underrated guys in the sport.
Yeah,
maybe that's good though. Maybe you don't want to get the word out too much.
He doesn't want to either.
Right.
Like, he only wants to work with. He's not in it for the money. He's not in it for the fame. Everything we do is in his garage at his house. So he could have a cool facility and have something really awesome, but he's a very humble guy. Felt bad about buying a new truck finally. You know, like we just do it in his garage, and his daughters make my meals and. They don't make any money off it. They do it out of love. You know, we have guys like me, Aaron Pico, Juan Archuleta, Lance Palmer's joined. We have a pretty tight niche of guys that are able to come to the garage. It's kind of an invite-only thing. But we're pushing him out to kind of get his name out there a little bit, kind of hyping him up ourselves. You know, he's not going to do it himself. So.
How is Pico looking ahead of his fight?
The guy's amazing, man. Him and Juan Archuleta are both fighting on the 20.
That's right.
Another reason why I'm excited about my fight being moved up, though, is that I can now corner Juan Archuleta and Aaron Pico for their fights here at the Forum for Bellator.
So you're gonna corner Pico?
Well, I'm gonna corner Juan.
Okay.
Is Juan coming to New York? Like
Yeah.
he's fighting next weekend?
Yeah, Juan's gonna be there. Yeah,
Wow.
he's which is actually perfect for him because that guy works harder than anybody I've ever met. Yeah, he's a workhorse. He never slows down. He's going back-to-back fights. He fought, and then 8 weeks later accepted another fight at weight class below him. So he's been on the same schedule I've been on in only 8 weeks. And that guy, he needs a little bit of a break. So it's good for him to come out to New York. He'll continue to work with Dwayne and work with the coaches we've all been working with and escape like the everyday life of 3 kids pulling you in every direction and the hard work he's got, you know?
TJ, talk about what you got going on with Candor and with the vets and that whole situation.
With what?
With Candor and the supporting the vets that you got going on. Yeah.
Oh, it's actually quite awesome. So we've done this thing to help donate to the veterans, and we're doing a thing with Candor. It's kind of like a live video chat where you send in a question, and I get to see you. You'll see me listening to your question, and then I answer back to you and have a kind of one-on-one conversation. It might be something about fight week. It might be something about my son, about my life, about MMA technique. It's also great for me to be able to promote who I am and my lifestyle. But the biggest thing is that we started is that donate to the vets, and it's really cool. I'm pumped to be behind it.
That's awesome. With Henry obviously beat DJ, who was pound for pound, best in the world. Mm-hmm. With the victory against Henry, where do you feel you should be ranked pound for pound after that?
I already think I should be number one, but that's me. So obviously it's not my job to rank us. So we'll see what everyone else thinks of my performance.
Speaking a lot about the Fit to Fight that you're involved in on the nutrition side, what about the mental fitness as you prepare to fight? What do you like to do? What do you unwind? Do you watch fights? Do you watch reality TV? What do you like to do just to keep your mind fresh and clear as you head into the fight?
Yeah, the Fit to Fight program is actually my program that I started. That's a MMA technique and nutrition and strength conditioning kind of. I feel like one of its kind. It's just everything all together. You got some jiu-jitsu techniques. You got Dwayne's kickboxing techniques, this is a whole package to learn to become either a better fighter or just get in shape, right? I didn't really touch too much on the mental, because everyone deals with that differently, because not everyone's in the same position, you know? And that's something I've actually changed throughout my life. I wish I had time to watch TV. I don't have time to watch TV, but for me, it's just enjoying I'm lucky. I love my job. I love getting in the gym. I love pushing myself to new extremes. I love torturing myself and going down to 125s, running for an hour and a half in the morning before I go to practice. So for me, that is what I want to do. And so I'm in the right mental spot. The night of competition, that's something that's hard to teach people. You know, you got to be able to enjoy it and have fun. And why not remember this process, everything I've done, rather than be so nervous that I forget about it. And I'm excited to get out there and fight on Saturday.
With this weight cut, has there been any special attention to that first meal after the weight drop, and you're just kind of like, yeah, it's gonna be good. This one has to be good.
In New York.
You know what I mean? Cheesecake or something.
Man, I don't know if I can go too ham to begin with because I might get sick. I've been on such a strict diet, man. Like my psoriasis, I had psoriasis. You know, like certain things, like autoimmune things you have. Like I had psoriasis that is completely gone now because of the diet I'm on. Like certain things, my energy level, my testosterone levels, like so much has changed. It's going to be hard for me to just let it all go. And I'm sure I'm going to have some dessert and some pizza, you know, but there's been no thought on that yet. I do have a list when I get home though, of places I gotta eat at restaurants. You know? There's a little list, like a little checklist. Hopefully I can get through it within the week and then be done.
What type of food is on that list? What are we looking at?
Man, I love sushi. I love Thai food. I mean, I'm a foodie. I love it all, you know. But I'd probably say sushi and Thai food is probably my top choices.
Good ones.
Better food in Orange County or better food in Sacramento?
Man, that's one thing that Sacramento does have is great food. They do have good food. The city of Orange County, the cities in Orange County are better, but the food in Sacramento is amazing. I miss McCooney's. Like,
I was gonna say there was the sushi place.
Man, I still have a roll up there. You can go up there and order the TJ roll. I need to get up there. I need to go just at the TJ roll. Going to enemy territories, see if I can make it out.
It looks like you have some fresh ink there. Is there any symbolism behind that? Or?
Yeah, so my tattoo artist, I got my whole sleeve done by Oscar Kirmo. But this is a lion here, and his hand's representing a globe, right? The globe is made out of a snake and the infinity logo, saying I'm going to be king of the world forever. I got a rose in the middle of it, just showing how fragile life is. The compass around the snake is kind of representing just the direction of life in the world. You know? Yeah, my whole sleeve's got too much meaning. Yeah, it'll take a lot of time, but yeah, it's he's been a great artist to help me expand what I want to do.
Did you key your son's car the other day?
No.
That was such a fun picture.
It's too nice. Too nice of his car. He's got a nicer car than I do.
How do you celebrate a victory? Like, what have you done in the past? Do you have a traditional way? Do you go buy something? Or how do you like to celebrate a victory?
It always changes, I guess, where you're at in life and what victories they are and things like that. I want to go on vacation after this one. I haven't done it. I usually talk about doing a vacation after a fight, but it's always been straight to work. You know, I have other businesses that I've started that need my attention that it's hard for me to leave. You know, I got my spice company, Flavor Republic. It's been taking me some time after my fights. The gym, the training lab, my Fit to Fight program. I'm starting a cold pressed juice company. So I have a lot going on that it's hard to get away. Because when I disappear, things don't work as great. So, but I need to make sure that I spend time with the family and get away. Like, I have a 1-year-old son now. I mean, obviously he's only one, so he doesn't really get to recognize it. But just even getting to spend that, a vacation for me is like leave my phones at home, go spend 3 or 4 days with my son and my wife. You know, so. Hopefully that's the plan.
Would you want your son to fight, like to follow in your footsteps?
I want him to do whatever he wants to do. I would tell him no or yes. I mean, not really, but I would never tell him no. You know, it's definitely a rough lifestyle. But if he wants to do it, more power to him, and I'll follow him. He can be a cheerleader, he can be an MMA fighter, whatever he wants to do, and I'll follow him.
Do you think it's harder when the next generation of a fighter, because they don't have maybe that same struggle, because if their parent has been successful, like a Floyd Mayweather or Roy Jones or someone like that, is it more difficult for a next generation to follow the parent and be as intense a fighter?
Depending on that superstar that you're talking about is going to help their kid out, depending on what kind of pressure comes into it, or if he's got the mental mind. It all just kind of depends on how good of a coach or representation of lifestyle that person is. I feel like I could be a very good one, but I'm not going to force. And that's why I don't want to force anything either. If my son wants to wrestle, awesome. If he wants to fight, cool. I think I can help out quite a bit, but that needs to be his choice.
Do you have a schedule for this year that you kind of mapped out, like any kind of plan?
No, it's always hard to look past your first fight, or not your next fight. You never know like what the opportunity's gonna come, or what cards are coming up, or what opportunity. So it's kind of that aspect.
Do you know if you want to fight like maybe 2 times, 3 times this year, or?
I'd love to stay active. You know, I mean, I'm not getting any younger. I'm about to be 33 in February, so stacking belts up.
TJ, any fights you're looking forward yourself to seeing? MMA or boxing?
I haven't really paid attention too much to what's going on lately, so no, I can't say that I have.
What are your thoughts on John Jones coming back and that performance?
Is John coming back and
what were your thoughts on Jones' return bout? Yeah, I mean,
it looked strong, man. It looked good, dominant. I mean, obviously his last fight with Justice Simmons was a whole lot closer than that, so I thought it looked very dominant.
With all your business endeavors, would you want to be a promoter ultimately, like have your own MMA platform where you promote fighters?
You mean like an agent or a promoter? I don't want
like a straight. The game could change drastically when you get to the point of retirement. Yeah. Would that be something you'd be interested in doing one day?
On the promotion side of it, no, but I wouldn't mind helping guide people in their careers. I'm more on the agent side of it. I signed with someone, Tiki Gosh, that used to fight. He was in the UFC. It's been such a breath of fresh air to have someone who understands my lifestyle, that has been there, done that. It's helped me out so much. And so yeah, I feel like I could fall right into that as well too, because I have so much knowledge in the sport and what it's done for me, same as him. So that's something I could always do. Yeah, absolutely.
TJ, you mentioned you're planning on wrestling Cejudo. When I guess when you go to bed at night, how do you see the fight ending? Is it
finishing him? Wow. And I can't tell you exactly which way I'm going to finish him, but my pressure is going to be too much. I'm too well rounded that I can take the fight anywhere, and that he's going to want to fold. He doesn't have that competitive edge that I have.
Were you impressed with his performance against DJ? And did you see anything in there that you were like you could see take advantage of? Or?
He's gotten a lot better. I was impressed with his growth, but he's not like a dangerous fighter. He's a little more of a warring fighter. But he's smart, right? I think that's where I'm going to pick him apart and say I'm going to be able to put it all together.
How do you take that confidence away from him? Because he just beat the best pound for pound fighter, and he's riding pretty high right now. How do you take that confidence away from him to let him know that
you don't know if someone's confident. Just because he got a fight, doesn't mean that he's feeling confident or how they deal with it. It all comes out to that moment. How you're going to feel in that moment, and I'm going to put so much pressure on him. He's not going to go home. Good? All right.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
What's it about?
It's like, how did you lose weight? Asking for a friend. Tell me what you ate every single day.
Yeah.
Can I just take a picture of your towel?
Yeah. One more.